Hey everyone, welcome back to the Six Figure Coaching Summit. I am Ryan.
And I am Chris.
And today you guys have got to learn the grid of nine when it comes to Instagram and social media marketing. Crystal Honeycutt is extremely experienced in this field, and she has a massive client base. She has a great, huge business teaching people how to grow their social media following. This is one of the best interviews that we've ever done.
Especially if you want to learn the way that social media, for me at least, feels authentic for you and the person scrolling through your Instagram, you're going to want to watch this. But let me tell you a bit about Crystal first. Crystal is a certified brand and marketing specialist and certified project manager. The biggest takeaway, I think, from this interview that you're going to get is that weight being lifted if you feel like you have to follow the algorithms, whatever it is, scenarios, the algorithms,
the
algorithms, And so that took a lot of pressure off me. And I just learned to follow what she's going to teach you in this interview. And it's going to feel so good.
Yeah, let's do it, guys. Let's jump right into it. Okay. Well, I have to say, Crystal Honeycutt, welcome to the Six Figure Coaching Summit.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited.
I am so excited for this. We were just talking before we started recording how grateful we are for you and your expertise on social media and just who you are as a person. We're very grateful to have you and be here with you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, truly, you just have no idea. It's really an honor to be included in like such a realm of experts, like to have my name with their name, like that just seems real. So thank you.
Well, I know we both have a lot of questions. We got 30 minutes, so I want to jump right into it. Maybe a good place to start is just, if you don't mind sharing with everyone who's watching and listening, what it is you exactly do as a social media expert.
So the funny thing is that I say this to all of my clients. One of my clients actually called me that, and then I just kind of stuck with it. So I tell everyone I'm just a unicorn, just that unicorn. It's just this big joke between myself and all my clients. So I do a lot of social media management, marketing, training. I just don't call myself a coach. I just never have, as far as like my actual title. I basically teach people how to put that social back into their social media. And I feel like that's very different than what a lot of people teach. I don't teach you how to sell your stuff on social media. I don't teach any of that. I just basically teach you how to treat every single person that comes across your account like they matter, because they do. And I don't look at them as that next dollar, that next order, that next customer. I don't look at them like that. And so I don't teach that. So I teach very differently. And I don't necessarily know that I have a title. I always say, call me whatever you want to. I don't care. Unicorn's fine. And that's just what I do. I just do a whole lot of social media management. And I don't do it like you've ever seen other people do it. That's really, I need to make up my own title, don't I? Like my own thing. Like this is what I do, other than unicorn.
Well, even what you just said was huge. You put the social back in social media.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, the connection, we always say connection equals currency. But yeah, so many people are selling and pitching, and there's all these offers coming at you all the time. So
that's hard.
Yeah. And we personally know people that you have helped bring their social media social, like some amazing coaches today, many that probably are on this summit. And I know watching theirs too, as watching yours, I feel like I am in their life. Like, I was talking to Ryan about this and I joked with you saying, like, don't go look at mine. Like it's not the best, but please come follow me. But don't be, I'm not your unicorn for that. But I do find it so fascinating the way that how you can visualize things and bring like your life and your humor and like everything that makes you into your social media. Like, where does anybody even start? Like, I think a lot of people feel like, who cares about that? Like, should I post that? Who cares about that?
That's a good question. Where do people start?
The number one tip that I could possibly give on this entire interview is to know that everyone is nosy. So you may think they don't want to know, but they do. They want to know every single detail, including what you ate, how you cooked it, what sauce is on your food. People want to know because we're all nosy. You think like the people watchers in the mall, that's what's going on Instagram. People are watching you. And so I think we get in our heads and we get in these like we listen to too much noise. People saying, do this, post this, share this, don't share that. Keep your business page XYZ, but don't share too much business, but just enough. And there's all these rules. And I always say back to anyone that comes to me to work with me, and they say that they've been told this and this, and they can't do this. And I say, why not? And who says? Who made the Instagram rule that I cannot post about my dog every single day and we all cannot celebrate her birthday, which we all just did?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Emmy, by the way.
Right?
Yes.
Who says I cannot do that on my page, plus be a business person and an influencer and all the things? Who said that I can't do that? Nobody. Just someone made up a rule somewhere that I had to do things a certain way. And so I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I think that the number one thing is to realize that when you're posting on social media, so like think back when Instagram first started, and I look back at some of my posts and I'm like, you want to talk about some cringe stuff? Scroll back on mine. No matter how bad you think yours is, scroll back to mine, because I literally was so a status update to me was I like my name and then I'm going to finish it. So it'd be Crystal Honeycutt is doing this. Like I didn't.
That's so awesome.
Like is running, is going out to be. That's
like
how
third person.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. I look back and I'm like, why did anyone follow me? Sometimes I think I should give all those people a prize for staying around. But you know what I was doing? When I would do this, I was literally talking like as one person. So I wasn't trying to sell you anything, but I just didn't realize it. So I was talking to that one person, basically myself in my head, but I was talking to that one person. And what worked for me that I didn't realize was working for me is I was talking to one person. So when I would do one post, I was talking to that one person. And that is how it should be on Instagram and all social media channels. You're not talking to an abundance of people, because if I'm watching it, I'm not watching it with a group of friends. It's me.
Right.
I'm watching the story. So when you talk, you're talking to me. And if you want me to relate to you, you better be talking to me and not everyone, because I've done this before I like really got back to like the foundation of who I am, because we've all gotten in our heads and we've all done all the training programs at one point or the other and been like, I'm going to do all the things everyone says I'm going to do. And we're getting there and I'd say, hey guys, happy Tuesday. But if I'm watching it, I'm one. Like I'm not a guy. I'm one girl. And so I feel like there's so much noise now that we have to do these things, talk to all the people, be all the place, but that's not it. You can sell one program at a time. One person's going to sign up at a time, one new customer at a time. It's not a huge mass thing. If you're trying to sell to the masses, you're selling to nobody. And that's the end of it.
That's so good. And something that you said on Instagram the other day that when I was scrolling through, and that really stuck out to me, is that you said you want to make an impact versus impress. And so what I'm hearing you say is that when you are focusing in on that one person, you get to really make a change for that person and everyone else that is like you in a more connected way, right? So like, where do you get your inspiration from to make such an impact like that on social?
So my whole life and my whole basis in life is based around making you feel good enough, whether that be in your personal life, your business life, your friend's life, whatever. I want you to always feel that who you are is good enough. You don't have to be XYZ. You don't have to up level to be good enough for me. You are good enough as you are. You're worthy of being loved and having financial success and having freedom to do the things you want to do. You're worthy of all those things as you are. So everything is always going to like circle back and come into that. And I want everyone that comes to my page to leave my account feeling better than how they started. So if someone's having a bad day, I want them to be able to look at my account and leave feeling better. And so that means I've got to hit a lot of people, because there's all kinds of people following me. So I need to hit the business people, the dog lovers. I feel like everyone should be a dog lover, but whatever. The moms. I also need to hit the moms that have young children. So whereas my son is now 22, I need to hit the little kids, the moms that have the little kids. I need to hit the adult moms. I need to hit the people that are super, very, very professional on their page. I need to make sure I'm hitting all those people. But in the end, it's still going to come down to, I want you to feel good enough. Whatever you're doing in life or involved in life, you need to leave my page knowing that there's nothing else that you need to do or be to be worthy of any of the things. Anything. So everything all comes back to that. Every post, every thought, everything is going to come back there.
I have a question, unless you had one around this, because as I know your page, you talk about Emmy, who just turned 3, and pumpkin spice lattes are a big hit for you, right? Okay.
Hashtag PSL.
Yeah, hashtag PSL. And then your husband, right? And your son, and I think you just had the one son, right? Or do you have okay, just one son. And then you're Christian as well. So how do you bring it, like, how do you know what to bring in to meet to hit all these different types of people? Like, do you know what I mean? If you have a week to talk about these things, do you have a content calendar, or like, when do you bring it in? Is it just based on feeling?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I don't do that for myself because do you feel like after you've been doing something for so long, it's just kind of like second nature.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
you just know what needs to come next.
It's
But
like me being a great husband.
yeah, right. Think about that. You're just
No
like,
work necessary.
Ask my wife.
another great Monday. All right. So I get it. So I don't do that for myself, but for my clients, I do have a system in place, and that is their 9 grid. And so in every 9 grid, I need to know who you are, who you love, what you do, and why you do it. Every 9 grid needs to hit that. So if you look at my 9 grid, it's pretty much always going to hit it. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be abundance of Emmy posts from time to time, because there's Emmy who's just crazy and I love her. But then there's Bentley, and then there's also Diesel. Like, so sometimes it might be a little overboard one way or the other, but in general, you're always going to have that 9 grid in mind, and everyone else's needs to too, because you have to think everyone that's going to come to my page is not going to be a dog lover, but whatever. So I still need to put them somewhere else because I want them to stay. So for the non-dog lovers, I mean, maybe I can hit them on the pumpkin spice latte. Or maybe if they hate pumpkin spice latte, which I don't know why you would, maybe, they might be there because they found a quote from something I shared about God or my faith or something like that. Or maybe I like to share funny stuff too, because then I feel like I'm going to hit everyone, because everyone needs to laugh. So I try to hit everyone in that 9 grid, but if you just can't do that naturally, it's just your 9 grid. Every 9 grid needs to hit that, at the very least, every other 9 grid. But you have to think, when someone's on their phone, they're literally looking at 9 posts.
Right.
It's going to take a lot to get them to swipe up, and you want them to do that swipe up. But if you can't even get them attached in that first second or two when they're looking at your 9 grid, you've lost them.
Wow.
What were the 3 questions again?
Who you are, who you love, what you do, and why you do it.
4 questions. Okay. That's so good. I'll try to remember that, writing that one down.
Well, I'm gonna
We'll watch the replay.
tweak mine. Okay. I'm
gonna pass it over to you, Chris.
Oh, okay. I'm curious, because we're living in a time of chaos, and a lot of people have strong opinions about anything. It could be about dogs, it could be about God. Do you ever feel like you hold back things that you want to say to keep your
It's a great question.
Grid on for the lighter side?
To have people leaving feeling good?
I do, to a certain extent. So I'm not sure if you guys know the story. So I think it was in 2014, 2012. As you get older, the years kind of run together. A long time ago, I did not post about God on my social media because I was afraid. I didn't want people to not like me or be afraid to follow me or what. And then finally I was like, well, you're being a fake. You are a fakey McFaker right now, because you pray every night and you literally are not talking about this anywhere. So I posted about it, that I was like, hey, you guys, I'm so sorry. I've never shared this part with you. Like I should have, blah, 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 all the things. In 24 hours, 7,000 people unfollowed me, and I cried my eyes out. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was like, oh, panic attack is like full on. But then I sat there for a second and I thought, those were never my people. If you would unfollow me because I made a statement of what I believe in, I didn't say you needed to believe it. I didn't say I was going to talk to you about it every day. You were never going to be my person, ever. We were never going to connect. We were not connecting over the right things. So that can be scary. But as far as now stuff, so now is hard. I think we all can agree, no matter which way we believe or don't believe, now is hard for everyone. So I will say this. people already see enough of the hard stuff all over social media. They don't need to see it from me. Now, that's not to say that I'll never say anything. I pick and choose my battles. What's really important. Usually, when I do want to post something, I post it from a very objective standpoint of whether you believe X or Y, we still have to live together in this earth. You still are a human being. You are still someone with a soul. You are still someone that deserves kindness and compassion and grace, whether we believe the same or not. I can still sit by you and support you in your business, whether we vote the same or agree on some things. It doesn't matter. And that's where I think people really lose the connection that whether you and I believe the same, we still would have believed different 10 years ago. It just wasn't a deal.
That's right.
And so I like to remind people that it's okay to have your opinions and it's okay to post them on social media, but remember that your opinion is not going to change someone else. No way. Nothing I post on social media is going to make you believe differently than you already do. I just want you to think about it and own that decision. But I don't need to tell you the same thing that Fox News has told you, or, Jane Doe on here who's like acting crazy and trying to force you to believe her way. You've already seen that. So you've already got those things to look at. So I'm going to give you something different. I'm going to give you something that's going to make you feel a little better, to know that not everyone feels that way. Not everyone's going to push you on this. You have to sleep with yourself at night, and I have to sleep with myself. And so I feel like people misconstrue that. Like, it doesn't have to be I have to tell you exactly how I'm believing and feeling on every single post. It's not going to help you or me at all.
Yeah. It's really fascinating because I feel like over the last few years, especially, it's gone into kind of like all things now. You post about something and someone doesn't agree. And so what we hear a lot from, because we're talking to coaches on this series, sometimes if they want to get to six figures, they might feel like they just want to go like, whatever they believe in. Like their money they're making, or, sharing like how many clients they're helping. But sometimes they feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't because there's always censorship or backlash or something that's going to come up. But I guess you if you're going to use social media, kind of got to have some tough skin if you're going to go out and you're going to share your vision and why you do it, right?
If you don't have tough skin, you'll get it really fast.
Yeah, that's true.
It is the truth, but I offend people every day, and I don't mean to. And anyone that knows me on social media or in real life will tell you that I don't ever want to hurt someone's feelings. Like, it stresses with me. Like, it just causes me massive anxiety. I want to cry. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. But I'm not a taco, and I can't make everyone happy. It's just not possible. So you're going to offend someone every single day. So I feel like in my head, if I'm going to offend you over tiny stuff that doesn't matter, then I might as well offend you really well and like really bless your heart and pray for you while I'm at it. We'll just go big or go home.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because I can acknowledge that I can fall victim into that, where I'll say something and then I'm like, I'm just going to cover it with like sugar to make it like easier to swallow. And I'm like, why the hell did I do that? Why didn't I just say what I truly wanted to say? It's so silly.
It's hard, but you have to think that the people that really resonate with you and that will be your next client or customer or however you view it, they won't be upset or offended. They will not be the ones who be like, I'm going to unfollow you now.
It's very true. Yeah.
It's not. I know everyone wants a lot of followers. I get it. Obviously, that's the business I'm in. But a lot of followers doesn't mean that you're going to make a lot of money. It just doesn't.
So true. Yeah.
It just doesn't really equate that way. I would like to say it did, but it doesn't. So I know people that have 2,000 Instagram followers that make 3 times what I do a year. And I know people that have 300,000 or 400,000 Instagram followers that make a quarter of what I do. It really just comes down to the people who are following you, if they're the right people. That's really what comes.
So the best way is just, as I'm listening to you talk, is just to be yourself and just make sure that you're attracting the right kinds of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does you good to have 1 million followers that would never buy your stuff. It does you no good. That's monopoly money.
Wow. So the people who are a part of this summit who are watching us right now, they are obviously coaches and they want to make like 6 or go up to multiple 7 figures. So once someone knows they're 9, like their grid of 9, what do they do next? Like, where do they send people direct them to actually like start to scale up their business from there?
So I really feel like that there's not a lot, I'm not saying never, but in general, I feel like the magic is going to happen in that private connection. So it's probably not going to happen on that feed post. Not saying it can't, but in general, women especially, we buy from emotion. So if you want me to purchase, you better make me feel something or I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like it's really hard to hit that in like the feed post because most people are not going to share anything on the feed post because it's public.
Yeah.
So every time that I speak to someone, I do my best to move them to my DM, no matter if it's my account or my client's account. I always try to move them to the DM. Even if they're not moving the conversation to the DM, I will, because that's where I'm going to be able to dig in with them a little deeper, see what they're really struggling with, where their pain points are, because that's what I want to hit. Because if I can't solve any other problems, they do not need to hire me. I don't, it's not about the money to me. If I can't help you, you're wasting your money. That doesn't help me. That's going to eventually turn back on me and karma and all the things. And I don't want that. So I want to know, what are your pain points and how can I help you? And so like if I'm talking to someone and they are, just kind of chatting about social media, people usually will chat about with social media and they'll say things like, oh gosh, the algorithm is just really hard right now. So I'm not going to have a big conversation about the algorithm on that feed post. I'm going to go to private messenger and be like, girl, I'm with you. The algorithm is just a beast today. It's just crazy. All the things are happening. And then I'll get them chatting.
Okay.
And because that's really is what I need to know. Are they really struggling with the algorithm or are they just having a bad post? Or, and this happens a lot, is the algorithm really your problem, or is the fact that you haven't posted in 12 days the problem? Because
right. How do you typically, when you're working with clients, actually get them to have people DM them? And like if they're struggling, if they're, let's say they have people watching, maybe they're engaging, but they're never getting DMs. How do you create engagement to get direct messages?
Well, I tell everyone that you're not Beyonce and people aren't going to search you out. It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter how famous in the coaching world you are, you're not Beyonce. So it's kind of like, so I'm old and my mom sold World Book Encyclopedia back in like, what do they call it? The 1900s now? That's what they're saying. I'll TikTok on that. If you're born in like before 2000, you were born in the late 1900s. That's depressing. So yeah, I
same.
Like I'm gonna block these people. But so my mom sold encyclopedia, and I can remember we would park in a neighborhood. I would sit in the car. She would tell me to lock the doors, and she would go door to door knocking, trying to get people to listen to her pitch about encyclopedia. God love her heart. She did amazing at it because she didn't sit at home and wait on people to be like, I wonder if I need an encyclopedia. No, she was door to door. Hi, this is what I sell. Do you need this? That's what she did. So if you're sitting around waiting on people to pop into your DMs, it is not going to happen, period. So you got to go out and get in other people's DMs. How do you get DMs? You go and get someone else's. It's the same principle that my mom did. You're just going to knock on doors virtually. You're just going to go into their DMs. That's how you get them to DM you. Otherwise, it's just never going to happen. It's just not.
Wow, there's two things, and for everyone who's watching or listening, this is so important. When we were talking about where do you direct people to, like, it's so fascinating because you went to write to DMs and not to like send them to this link, send them to your website, send them to a landing page. It's all about the conversation.
Yeah.
And then hearing this is so huge. I hope none of you out there are just waiting for people to DM you. Like you can go and reach out to other people.
Yeah, that's so true. But what's so funny is like, I think the way that we work is like, oh, that's a lot of work. Attraction marketing should be, you're attracting people to come to you, but you could be sitting around for a really long time, not doing the work that you should be doing with people unless you do get into that action, right?
Going back to your mom, which is such a fascinating story. I've never asked you this, but how did you actually get started doing social media?
By accident.
Your ex.
So your accident.
By accident. Oh, I thought you said your ex. I'm like, wait, yeah, no, your husband you've been with. No, so by accident, what do you mean?
So I was really heavy in network marketing. I won the cars. I was doing like the big speaking gigs at like the national conferences, all the things. And so people in other teams were asking me to train them, or like other leaders were saying, hey, can you do a training on this with my team? Apparently that's frowned upon. Apparently you're supposed to train your team. You should not be training other people's teams. Who knew? So I was like, well, that's not fair, because like, for example, if I'm selling a weight loss shake, the people that know you are not my friends. Like they don't know me. So why can I not teach you the same thing I'm doing? Because there's enough people in this world that needed the product that I was selling, that we could all sell it and you could be successful and it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah,
or my team.
absolutely.
So it was purely by accident. I was told that I should probably not be doing that. Like I need to stop. And I was like, I'm going to I'm going to do what I want. Like, well, I just won't sell your product anymore. I won't be winning the cars and winning the trips and doing your conferences. I'll just do my own thing. So I did. I quit. My husband literally was ready to kill me when he came home that night. I was like, hey, guess what? I quit. Guess what I did? And I had this idea. And he was like, what are you going to do with the BMW? Because they're probably not going to pay for it anymore. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't really think that far. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this car now. Because that was the thing. Like you won the car, but you didn't win the paid for car. They made the payments. Why I done that a couple of times. And so I had a couple car payments now. And he was like, Crystal, oh, hashtag I do what I want. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to make this program. And I did. I made this program and I started training people on social media. And it snowballed from there. And then it got to be to where people wanted me to not train them anymore how to do it. They wanted me to do it for them. And I was like, okay, well, we'll try it this way. So I tried a couple of clients and I really liked it. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm onto something here. And that's how I fell into it. It was never meant to be.
Oh, wow. I did not know this at all. Did you know that?
No, that's amazing. That is so amazing.
Do you mind me asking you what company it was?
The last one or any of the others?
Okay. So, because we were in Visalis and it sounds like
same.
That's the one, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the one we went to One Star Ambassador and we had the most success. I did not know you did that company.
Wow. I really enjoyed it. I mean, to be honest with you, I really, really did. Yeah. But apparently they didn't really like me. Like, obviously it wasn't like the main people telling me I couldn't do it. It was the other people. And like, you know, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And people are getting mad at me for like training other people's downlines. And I'm like, whatever, that's dumb. Don't be lame.
Yeah. Wow. Good for you. That's incredible.
Well, this is wild because so you transition out of your network marketing companies right into teaching social media and coaching on social media, which is exactly what we did. So we we made multiple six figures in Visalis, and then we transitioned out of there and stepped right into coaching in 2014. And that's what we've been doing since. That's crazy.
That is so neat. That's so cool. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that. That's so cool. So, okay. One thing so obviously then you work with a lot of network marketers and coaches to this day, right? What do you do? Because I was reading over your what you talk about and what we can talk about. And you said building a brand when it feels like the whole market is flooded. And you see that now, like with network marketers and with coaches, especially, everyone's kind of like cookie cutter. If she's doing that, I got to do the same thing. How do you then like help people actually gain traction in business when it does seem flooded? There's a million coaches out now. But when we started, there was nobody coaching. So it's so different.
And you do feel that way. But I think also too, and this is what I tell my team this all the time. It's so easy to get wrapped up in our heads and say, everyone is doing this. But really, is everyone doing this? Or is it just the people in our little social media bubble? Because that's really how it is. Because like you and I, I know you all and you know me, and we've been like in the same realm of people for years and years and years. But if you went to your neighbor next door and you said, hey, have you heard of Crystal Honeycutt? They're going to say, no. Should I have? That's not Beyonce. Right? So I think that we get in our heads that there is no room for us. Like there's no room because there's all these people. And I get this a lot with social media. People say, everyone teaches social media. Well, no, everyone does not. it may feel that way because we're online and we're connected, and Facebook and Instagram will suggest people. Well, they're suggesting people because they're like on this network. So then you keep seeing all these things and you think it's all saturated, but it's really, really not. And the same thing, like when I was in Visalis, people say, oh my gosh, it is saturated with people selling protein shakes because it came from Beachbody. And I'm like, but really not, because I sold hundreds of thousands of shakes when people said that it was already saturated. And I'm like, obviously it's not that saturated, but because I know a lot of people are not going to believe me on that, I'm going to go into a flip side. So if you do believe like there's absolutely no room for you because everyone else is doing it, then what I have to say is everyone else is not you. And how you do it is not going to be how Jane Doe does it or anyone else, because you are you. Your mission was given uniquely to you. So you could do social media and feel like it's exactly how I do it, but I guarantee it's not. And then another like little branch of that could be your followers are not going to buy from me. They don't know me. They don't have that relationship with me. They don't have that connection with me. They don't know about my crazy little Emmy. They don't know me, but they know you. And if you've done your social media right, they would never think of hiring anyone but you, because they know you. So many people have said to me, I followed Emmy's story from the beginning. I love Emmy. She is my dog. That is my person. That's my spirit animal. Like if Emmy were to pass away, there would be hundreds of thousands of people devastated, I believe. Like I get so many messages about her. And I've had people like in the business world, in the coaching world, they'll say, Crystal, why do you share so much about your dog? That's really odd. And I say, the people that have been around know how Emmy came to be. Emmy came to be in my life because my 10-year-old Yorkie, I had to put her down. Like it was just a spur of the moment, horrible thing that happened to her. And they remember that I was crying for days. Like I couldn't post, I couldn't do anything. And it was just this long story I'm not going to go into, but that's how Emmy came into my life. And so people like they were invested with Emmy because it started with Bella. And so you may think that me sharing like these stories about Emmy is not a big deal, but it is, because these people, they feel like they're part of my life, and they are. Like I have so many people that follow me just for Emmy, that they may start following me for Emmy, but then they learn all these other little things about me, and they're like, I know her. I know her story. I know this. And that's what I want. I want everyone to feel like they are my friend, like they matter, that if they are upset or they're having a bad day, or if they need me to pray for them, that they can come and I'm going to do it. And then when they get ready to buy social media or whatever else they may want, they're not going to think about going to anyone else because I'm their friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I love that. I love that. I love that it's so like, it's just your life. And that's what I was saying, knowing your clients that you work with, that I personally know, that's what I feel from them, is that I'm in it.
Yeah.
That's so,
and you're so good at it. I mean, even just being here with you and listening to how you come into social, like not so much the strategy side of it, because I know you're excellent at that too, but right, like just understanding the way you see social, and you don't see it as like you're talking to guys and a bunch of people, like it's like an individual person and helping them feel better. And then the grid with the 9, like huge takeaways, like it just, just a perception of how you see social.
Yeah, I love that.
This is awesome.
You're
gonna say, I know, okay, well, you got one, then we gotta wrap up.
So are we supposed to be posting on our grid every single day? Is that a Crystal Honeycutt suggestion?
Only if it's good. Like,
okay.
Like don't post a post just to be posting.
Okay.
Because, it's kind of like darned if you do and darned if you don't. So if you have something quality to say, post it. If you don't do it. Because I know that people will tell you need to post every day, the algorithm, blah, 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 all the things. I get it. And I'm not going to say not to post. You do need to be posting, but if you're only going to try and post a filler, like just to fill a space, don't do it, because I feel like that's not going to help you anyway. So use that time in your DMs instead.
Okay.
If it's going to take you 10 minutes to write a post that's not going to be that great, and you're probably going to archive it later, it's kind of like that, felt cute, might delete later kind of thing. If you're going to feel cute, but maybe delete it later, don't waste your time with it. Take that 10 minutes, get in your DMs, message some people, ask people how their day is. Don't try to sell them anything. I don't think so. The funny thing is a lot of people don't even know that I sell stuff, that I actually have a website. They have no idea. They have no idea. And but after chatting, they'll actually say, well, do you actually do this for people? Do you actually have social media clients? Well, yes, I do. And here is how you do it. I don't actually actively lead with that. But that's what I want. I want people
Wow.
to come and hang out with me, feel like they matter, feel good, all the things. And then if it feels right, then we can talk about work. That is never going to be at the front line of my social media ever. It's just never.
What if you were to go into filling like a course or something? Would you then have do you shift it into more heavily marketing that way?
So, there is a lot of strategy to social media, and I know I don't necessarily talk about it a lot as far as like this situation. There is strategy. There always has to be. You can't just be out here willy-nilly hanging out and expect things to happen, just like expecting people to drop in your DMs. There is a strategy there. You have to get out and do it. Now, if you have a launch coming up or you're trying to funnel people into something, then you are going to need to talk more about business. But it cannot be, in my opinion, a manner of buy this from me. Hey, I'm selling this. Did you buy this? Did you see this? Hey, did you check out my last feed post where I'm selling this? It can't, in my head, it shouldn't lead that way, because no one wants to be sold to. Nobody. And the way I can tell you that I know no one wants to be sold to, walk onto any car dealership lot. What do we do when the car salesmen start walking toward us? We run. Hey, can I help you? Nope, I'm just looking. I'm just looking. Don't talk to me. I'm not giving them a number. Don't want your card. I'm just looking. Run, 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 run. Right? It's no different than social media. If you start selling to me, I'm out. I'm out of here. Done. I'm outie. Peace out. So you don't want to lead with that. It doesn't even matter, even if you are doing your launch. Start with what you're solving. You have to give people that reason to want to be a part of it. And it can't be super salesy. It can't be that car salesman type situation to where you will make me run. Yes, obviously, I wouldn't be on the car lot's parking lot if I wasn't looking for a vehicle. Let's be real. I'm not going to go to the car dealership because I want to get my nails done. I'm going to go because I'm looking for a car. But because they're leading, and I know they're going to lead with a sales pitch, I'm not going to talk to them. I'm going to run and go to another car lot until someone will leave me alone, until I find the vehicle I want to look at. Then I go in and I say, hey, could someone help me with this car? That's how it is. And we're all that way. I don't know of anyone that's like, yes, I'm right here. Come find me. Please come find me and try and give me your best sales pitch on this vehicle. Maybe not this vehicle, any vehicle. Let me look at all the vehicles online. No one's going to do that. Nobody. So no matter what you're doing, give people that chance to look at your stuff, see what you're offering. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What makes you different? Why do I need you? Because I may need you and don't know that I need you. So tell me why I need you. What are you doing? What problem are you solving? Because I've got lots.
That's good.
Which one are you going to pick?
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Okay, thank you.
We were just talking about this walking into stores when we go shopping, and how certain stores, nobody bothers us. We can just freely roam, and we end up buying things. And then we walk into another store and the salespeople are on us and we end up not buying anything and walking out the store.
Yeah, so true.
That's just how we're wired, I think, as humans. Like, we don't want to be sold to. Like when a commercial comes on, whatever, because now there's commercials on everything, a Hulu or whatever. What do we all do? That's when we get up and go get our snacks. We go to the bathroom, you take the dog out. That's when you get on your phone, you check your email, because you don't want to be sold to in that commercial. You're not watching it.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Oh, thank you.
So Crystal, I know there's someone watching this right now that wants to learn more about you, work with you, understand how they can grow their social media as a coach to make 6 figures or greater. What is the best place for them to connect with you?
Instagram is probably the best way. My team and I are in my Instagram a lot, to be sure that no one is in need of support and I'm not seeing it, because I am human, and clients always, you guys know how it is. Client work comes before my own stuff. So I I don't want anyone to be sitting there. So Instagram is the best way. In the DM is the best.
Yeah. So there you go. Maybe the best action step is to message Crystal Honeycutt on her Instagram DMs and get your DMs going.
Yeah, let us know what your biggest takeaway was.
Yeah, and where you need the most support when it comes to Instagram and social media. So there's a link down below, and that will take you right to Crystal Honeycutt's Instagram page. Crystal, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me and just allowing me to be part of this summit. I mean, it's just amazing. Thank you.
It was great. And for those of you at home, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We will see you guys on the next interview.
That was such a great interview. I hope you enjoyed it. Just want to remind you to go ahead and upgrade to the VIP bundle, especially if you're someone that needs accountability, support, and direction to hit your first 6 figures or more.
You're going to get access to all the videos, plus a 30-minute call with myself or Ryan, and access to a 60-minute training that's going to help you grow your business to 6 figures and beyond.
There's a button down below. Click the button to upgrade, and we'll see you then.